Why Moses Itauma's in for a shock against Dillian White. Moses Itauma versus Dillian White is less than 2 weeks away. In the boxing world, is pretty much written off Dillian. But as times went on and the fights draw near, I've seen a real shift in Dillian White. Has the boxing world got it wrong? Well, stay with me, because today I'm going to break it down. If you're new to the channel, my name's Lawrence Oswecki, a professional boxer, and also a former member of GB amateur boxing team. There's no doubt about it, Moses Itauma is extremely talented, and potentially got a long career in the sport. But the question is, right now, is he really as good as we all think? We've all seen the way he's been dealing with opponents, making light work of the likes of Dempsey McKean, destroying him in 1 round, and it took Filip Hrgovic 12. But in boxing, styles make fights, and sometimes the fighters just have a bad day at the office, but us fans read into the performance far too much. And of course, as part of the fun, analysing performances, comparing fighters against each other. But in boxing, 2 plus 2 doesn't always equal 4. And I also feel with Moses, a lot of the hype's been generated from sparring stories. I've said before in previous videos, it was Lawrence Okoli that was singing his praises. He said he sparred with Moses when he was just 15 and he gave him hell. And in fairness, a lot of other fighters have also talked about his talent. He sparred with a lot of the top heavyweights, AJ, he was in camp with Fury for Usyk, Parker, he's been around the block. But sparring's very different to fighting. Headgear, big gloves, no pressure. Us fighters always say, sparring, unless you're Martin Bakoli. He was literally screaming from the rooftops. He knocked out everybody in sparring. This one, that one, his dog, his cat, his hamster. He was saying that nobody wanted to fight him, screaming for his opportunity. And when he finally got it with Parker, we all seen what happened. In all the years I've been boxing, mixing it with the best, I've seen guys who perform great in the gym, but under the bright lights, they fail. It's a different ball game, or sometimes they look great to a level, then fall off a cliff. Boxing's so unforgiving, it only takes 1 punch. Unlike football or rugby or basketball, you can concede a goal but still win the game. But in boxing, it ends the game. And yes, I know, relax, Moses has been performing under the bright lights, but what I'm saying is, it's still so early and he's got a lot to prove. Up until this point, I can't argue, he's passed every test with flying colours, but the problem is, he's passed so easily, he's missed out on valuable lessons along the way. And he's now got a very experienced veteran in front of him in Dillian White, who's been at world level. Everybody's written Dillian off, but recently, seeing interviews and seeing training footage, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I've got to be honest, my mind's starting to shift. Let's take a look and discuss the key takeaways.
I don't think I've ever seen you be this big an underdog in a fight. You are like 1 to 14.
Dev asked Dillian, how does he feel being the underdog?
And that's what makes it dangerous. As an underdog, you're underneath, you get up at them testicles and lock onto them, and it's game over.
It's crazy really, because like I said, he's fought at world level, fighting the likes of Povetkin, Fury, Chisora, AJ, Parker, the list goes on. But in sports, you're only as good as your last performance. In Dillian's last fight, he looked terrible, putting it politely.
Has he put something in you? Because like your last few fights, Ebenezer like instilled a fear, not...
No man has put anything in me. Pause this.
Dillian does make me laugh, dark humour. But maybe that says more about me. He says it the way it is. There's no sugar coating. Dev says, is this the biggest risk he's took in his career? Which again is madness.
All of them has been massive, because you think no one's ever had me as the favourite. Think of one fight that was the favourite. Just think.
Dylan's right. He's always the underdog. It's nothing new.
How do you reflect on your fight with Tete?
It was what it was. Listen, I've been walking the long, lonely, dark road for 3 years.
This is the thing. People forget that fighters go through things outside of the ring which affect the performance, but us fans only judge the performance. At the end of the day, fighters are human, they're not robots.
Then that fight for me was, ask myself a question, can I take a good whack and push through? Can I force myself to put the jabs in? Can I...
He admits he wasn't in great shape, but that fight for him was about dipping his foot in the water and seeing if he still got it and still wants it.
I had a few injuries and stuff going into the fight, but it is what it was. But that fight reignited the spark in me. In the later rounds, I was like, you know, I can stop this guy with the jab.
Dylan's a real warrior, and I do like what I'm hearing. He says he's got the hunger and the spark back. Dev mentions the fact that Fraser Clark and Daniel Dubois stopped at Tete early. The fact is, we know that Dillian wasn't in great shape, and styles make fights, and because of the inactivity, the rounds would have done him the world of good. Going into his fight with Moses, he'll be more confident knowing he's done those rounds. Dev asked Dillian, is it about taking Moses into deep waters?
No, because by then you might take a lot of damage by then. So it's about getting set as soon as the first bell goes, man.
This is what I like about Dillian. He has no plan on having a boxing match. Jab for jab, he's going to get straight down to business.
Let's sit around and bar and tittle one weight, and then boxing, you can get injured, you can get a jab and your eye socket go.
He's so right. You could plan to go the distance, a points win, then you get a cut or some eye damage and it's game over. As they say in boxing, you don't get paid for overtime. Don't leave it to the judges. Dev says, does he feel disrespected that people are saying that Moses will blow him away?
That's what life is all about, man. All those scumbags, the end of their podcasts and yeah.
When he says podcasts, does that mean me?
But he won, but this and that. That's what life is all about. They're proving idiots wrong. That's what life is all about, man.
This is what boxing's like. When you're on top, people love you. And when you're on the bottom, they'll trample all over you. He's got that real underdog mentality. There's no pressure, but he can't wait to prove people wrong. I know from personal experience, it's a nice place to be. You feel free. I get a real sense of confidence from Dillian, like he knows something that we don't. But in fairness, he's been here many times before with world champions, monsters of the game. He's been written off, he's got nothing to lose, but everything to gain. And what I will say, Dillian looks to be in the best shape I've seen in a long time, which tells me he's been putting in the work. Dillian's a roadman, he's not going to just roll over for some young buck. From the training footage I've seen, he does look great. He looks to be flying, like he's left no stone unturned. You can tell just by his face, he's in shape. The fact that heavyweights don't have to make weight, it's easy to cut corners, miss a few runs, have a few cheat meals. At the lighter weights, there's no way around it. To lose the weight, you've got to put in the work. But even heavyweights have an optimal weight where they perform the best. Just take a look at the top guys' weights on weigh-in and you'll see a consistent pattern. And he's now trained by former world champion Buddy McGurk, who's trained the likes of Otoro Gatti, Kovalev, Antonio Tarver, to name a few. Very experienced, someone who's been there and done it. He's a real old school coach, all about the basics, footwork, head movement, the jab. He's a great coach.
Working on sharpening up the defense more, not getting crazy. Because when he gets hit right away, he wants to go to war. It's not always about that. You got to be smart now.
I like that from Buddy. He's looking to make Dillian more defensively responsible because he likes to get involved and go to war. And we've all seen in the past, he's been made to pay for it. Against Moses, a young, fast, powerful southpaw, he can't afford to switch off. I say it again, but Dillian's got nothing to lose, but everything to gain. A win will put him straight back in the mix. Beating the guy considered the next Mike Tyson is huge motivation. The madness is, if he won, it'd be the biggest upset in boxing. If he can just land his signature left hook, it'd be something else. He looks to be in a great place, happy with his coach Buddy McGurk. He's had a great camp. A happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. He said for 3 years he was in a dark place, but he's came through it. And going through adversity can make you stronger. His fight with the Teddy served its purpose. He got the rounds, he got the questions he needed answered, and he got his spark back. The reality is, all the pressure is on Moses. He's expected to win. Anything less than a great performance, a spectacular performance, people will say he's overrated. But it's the nature of the game. 1 minute you're flavour of the month, the next you're nothing. I really would have liked to see Moses go the traditional route. English, British, European, and so on. Doing things that way, the longer route, you gain valuable experience. I'm like a broken record. I always say it, you can't buy experience. The reason I say it, this sport, boxing, it's so tough and hard. That experience is gold. Because if he does beat Dillian, there'll be no backward step. He'll be in there with the big dogs. And Turki Al-Sheikh's already said he'd like to see him in with Usyk. And for me, it's far too soon. Old Bricktop is one of the best at navigating his fighters' careers, but Moses wants the fastest route to the top. The problem is, if things don't go to plan and Dillian can land his signature left hook, it could potentially destroy a great career. A bad defeat in a young fighter's career can be devastating, but it's boxing, it's heavyweight boxing, it's the way it goes. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Is Moses Itauma overrated? Have people got carried away? Tell me your fight predictions, and don't forget to like and subscribe and go and watch my original fight prediction.